Mr. Ranganathan was an automobile engineer working in the Middle East. Quite a rewarding career actually, but it was what he did post-retirement on his return to India that has been even more rewarding for him. Stick around to find out what I mean.
I returned to my hometown, home village from the Middle East in the year 1982 with my family. And my children wanted to play with the rural children, but the rural children would not come forward to play with them, feeling shy about it. Then my children asked me a question, why the children are like that? Then I told them, see, that there should be a reason. And I found out for myself the reason. They do not have any exposure, the rural children, as my children used to have the exposure in an urban area, becoming very bold and all that. And that day it struck to me that I should do something for helping these rural children to become equal to my children. Then I was really looking for an opportunity to get started.
However, transforming that vision into reality took Mr. Ranganathan nearly 20 years, and it was only in 2002 that the Vidyarambam Trust finally came to be set up. Today, Vidyarambam has 450 centers spread over 12 districts, aimed at providing that urban exposure to underprivileged children in rural India.
Initially, I wanted to focus to the young children of the age group 3 and 6 and give them a very good quality education. Subsequently, my friend suggested, why don't you check up with the other children of a higher level also. Then when we made a small survey among the schools, especially in the government schools, we found that the children are, even the class 4 children, they were not able to read the lessons of class 1. So we made a decision that we will take them also into our loop, and then we started. Then subsequently we spread it to class 6, 7 and 8 also to teach English.
A unique aspect about the Vidyarambam Trust is that they themselves develop almost everything ranging from books to other learning aids required to impart a sound education to the kids.
Since we wanted to give a very quality education, in the Vidyarambam Trust itself we wanted to prepare all the learning material and the books, everything. And good experienced people came forward to help us to develop these things. And we formed a resource center, and that way we developed the whole thing. And then we also wanted to give the training for the teachers. We just recruited some class 10, 12 people whoever have passed only 10 and 12, and then trained them with our own methodology to take as a teacher, and then that helped us very much because we were able to take the teachers from the same area, from the same village for the children. So the relationship between the children and the teachers became very good, and it helped us a lot to improve the quality.
At centers run by the Vidyarambam Trust, the staff use different methods of teaching, which also include singing and dancing. All this ensures that the kids have a very strong foundation. But unfortunately, the same is not the case with kids schooling at government institutions in Tamil Nadu. Perhaps one of the reasons Tamil Nadu appears almost last on the annual status of education report.
The education in rural area, unfortunately, has not been focused for the primary education. Even the government level and all that, what they do is they focus for the higher education, higher level, +2, college and all that. But if the foundation is not strong, any effort will not give fruitful result. So I would expect the people all over the, even including the public and the government and all the educationists, to focus on the primary, quality education for the primary level, which will give you a very good foundation, which is naturally happening for the urban children. And rural children, it is not happening because of the want of exposure and want of the good education there. So that will be my earnest desire to see in my life that it is done for them.
All the projects taken up by the Vidyarambam Trust are free of cost to the children and are imparted by teachers trained and recruited from the same village. But finding help is not always easy, especially in the case of our next story. Well, I'm talking about the Blue Cross of India and the multitude of functions it carries out. So if you're someone who would like to do your bit for the animals, here's all you need to know about volunteering at the Blue Cross. Animals that yearn for a loving home, care and concern are a common sight at the Blue Cross of India in Vidyarambam. But taking care of these lovable creatures is no easy task, especially with only as few as 30 volunteers turning up on a regular basis. But if you would like to take part in this self-fulfilling experience, here's how you can help.
Volunteers can help us out with activities in the shelter and outside the shelter. Now, in the shelter, they can help us out with activities like, being mainly companionship to the animals, spending time with them, walking the dogs, bathing the animals over here, cleaning the shelter as such. These are things that volunteers can do at the shelter. Now, it's not necessary that people who are averse to touching animals and don't want to be with them can't help us out. They can help us out too with things that they can do outside their shelter. Blue Cross of India completely depends on the funds that we raise from the public, and they can help us out with fundraising activities. They can help us out in our education awareness programs that we conduct outside the shelter, and various other things that can be done outside the shelter for them.
Yeah, well, I've been a volunteer here for about 4 years now, and the most beautiful thing about working at the Blue Cross is the sense of satisfaction that you get, because the love that the dogs show you is completely unconditional. No matter what you're doing, whether you're feeding them or you're cleaning them, it's just a complete satisfying experience at the end of the day. It's hard work, but you gotta love it completely.
The running of the Blue Cross chapter at Velachery alone costs about 1.7 crores a year. But cutting costs is not entirely the reason they've adopted a vegetarian policy for all their inmates.
Basically because the simple pretext that we save all kinds of animals over here. We have dogs, cats, kittens, puppies, goats, cows, sheep, guinea pigs, rabbits, and it simply doesn't make sense for us to kill one animal to feed the other over here, because we are here out to save all animals. That's one, and we believe that vegetarianism is the way to go. That's the basic premise, and that's what we very strongly believe in. On the other hand, what also matters is that there are animals like cats, or they need some supplements which are available, in a meat or in a fish diet, and we give them those supplements like taurine content, which is given to them as supplements, so they don't suffer, and they're given complete wholesome nutritious food.
The Blue Cross of India is a temporary home to a lot of animals, from exotic birds seized from traders to guinea pigs recovered from testing labs. But amidst all these animals, there are a few that find it especially tough to cope, not with their enclosures, but with the feeling of having been abandoned by their family.
Having an animal as a family member should always be an informed decision and a well thought out decision. Simply because we have so many people who abandon their pets and which end up over here in a very sad state, and they're used to the pampering that they have at home, abandoned because of various reasons. And we have a lot of pets here at Blue Cross, a lot of dogs, cats here at Blue Cross which have been abandoned, and we definitely request people to adopt them from here and not go and buy and encourage breeding of dogs and encourage dog breeders, basically. That's something that we really like. We request people to come to Blue Cross and adopt from Blue Cross of India.
In addition to taking care of abandoned animals and finding them suitable homes, the Blue Cross of India, along with other animal welfare organizations, has also been doing some phenomenal work, and thanks to them, Chennai has become the first metro in India to be rabies-free. On the other side, we have for you a veteran actor and his journey to Tinseltown.